Anybody remember Albert Bell?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. I'm preaching to the choir here. This story appeared in the Baltimore Sun on April 1st of 1999. Admittedly, that was April Fool's Day. I didn't realize it until after it was in the paper. But it's not an April Fool's joke, and this is a true story. I've been carrying the guilt for a long time now, since December 1st, 1998, as a matter of fact. That's the date Albert Bell put on an Orioles cap and offered up a $13 million smile. That was per year. Trouble was, he looked darn good. Must have been the hat. And the guilt came with it. Until that December 1st, I had actually been very proud of myself. And the day I struck out Mr. Bell with the bases loaded. Until he became Oriole Albert Bell, I had never given a second thought to that outrageous moment a few years back when I exercised the right of being a hometown fan and attempted to change the course of a baseball game. Here's the scene. Mr. Bell, then of the Cleveland Indians, already had 3 hits on the day. The Orioles were down by a pair of runs in the 9th inning. And here he comes again with a menacing grand slam stare. The crowd was silent. Oriole Park syndrome. Maybe the fans were busy on their cell phones, but the birds had done little to excite the crowd. Only pitching had kept the Orioles in the game, avoiding the big inning and keeping the tribe scoring mostly in check until this huge moment. Just 2 runs down, I thought, the O's still have a chance. Mr. Bell was behind in the count with 2 strikes. The ball was leaving the pitcher's hand, and in the cavernous silence of Oriole Park, where the fan noise usually must be triggered by some unseen hand on the stadium sound system controls, I cried out in my very best imitation of the umpire's voice. Mr. Bell swung early. 3 runners left on base. Hands were pounding my back, and Mr. Bell was staring my way. And I started thinking that I'm a dead fan. Then he wheeled around and strode back to the dugout. In the bottom of the 9th, alas, the Orioles did nothing to change the outcome of the game. There was only the satisfaction of seeing Mr. Bell strike out, and the thought that my little prank from a 4th-row seat near home plate might have gotten him. But now Mr. Bell is a bird. And I think about my grand moment of being a ballpark loudmouth and wonder whether such action is as wrong as the gloved hand of a young Jeffrey Meyer reaching out for that right field bleacher to snatch a fly ball away from O's outfielder Tony Tarasco, turning an apparent flyout by shortstop Derek Jeter into a game-tying home run in 1996. Fan behavior has gone south in recent years. We imitate umpires. We wave flags and long balloons at enemy basketball players as they try to concentrate on making foul shots. We raise such a din at football games that the opposing players can't hear their quarterback's play calling. Are such actions any different than reaching out to take away a foul pop from the first baseman? Meyer, 12, in retrospect, did no more than go with the instinct of trying to catch a ball. And let us not forget that he botched the catch as badly as the umpire botched the call that day. But I shouted, "Strike!" and Mr. Bell struck out. Recently, I saw a chance to make amends. In early March that year, an hour before the Orioles' spring training home opener at Fort Lauderdale Stadium, I attempted to apologize to Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell was standing near a trailer by the team office. A chain-link fence separated us, so I felt relatively safe. "Hey, Albert," I called out. "Welcome to Baltimore." He looked at me and nodded. I was ready to broach the subject to see if he remembered that strikeout, and I stepped closer to the fence. "Hey," I said, "can I ask you a question?" "No, you can't," he replied in an unmistakably unreceptive tone. I took the hint. And now I'm confused. I'm no longer sure if I'm sorry But I want to be sorry. It's the confusion, I guess, that goes with being an Orioles fan these days.